G'day everyone, I'm David, this is my Tabletop Standard, and today I'm going to be painting Primaris as Optimus Prime. So for this model I've done a very minor conversion. I've just put some little chimney stacks just behind his backpack, and just his bolt gun there, put a grenade launcher attachment underneath the main barrel. I also shaved down the Aquila on the front of his chest, just because I was planning to paint the front of him more like Optimus with the windows. Now I started off showing what paints I was going to use. This one's just a natural silver. And I'm painting basically his thighs, his stomach, a bit around his arms, a little bit on his visor, and most of his backpack. Really, it doesn't matter which exact colours you use. I just picked a vibrant blue for his legs. It doesn't particularly matter if it's this one, just use what you have available. And if your blue's a little bit dark, just add some white in it, brighten it up. Might desaturate it a little bit, but you can always make do with what you have. So I'm just painting from his knees down blue, his hands, and I'm also painting his head, just leaving the very front of his face silver. This red that I used is a very thin paint. In hindsight, I should have actually used a lighter colour underneath, maybe a light grey, something that would have taken the red a bit better. But I ended up doing about 3 or 4 coats just to get full opacity of the red over the black. Now, I do undercoat all my miniatures black. I know a lot of people say you should undercoat them white because then you get whatever colour you want on top with more opacity, less coats, but for me I guess it's just a bit of a habit. Now, I did mix some black with the red that I already had, just to make a darker red. I do have darker reds available in my paint mix, but I just wanted to show that even if you don't have a lot of colours, just with a black and a white, you can just also add extra depth and highlights just by using the same colour you have. So just adding a little bit of black, create some shadows, and later on I'll use a bit of white in with my red just to make it highlight a little bit too. And doing the same process, just adding a bit of black to my blue, just to give me a darker blue. I'm putting it on the parts of my model that are lower down, and also the parts that are like inside the legs a little bit, and also at the bottom of the shin, where it's going to be darker naturally. Unfortunately, it's a little out of focus, but I'm just painting the glass on his chest, just like Optimus Prime has the main windows of the Mack truck on his chest. I just painted the paintings in blue, the same blue that I did use for his legs. As you can see, highlighting the blue with just the white added to it, it sort of keeps it in the same spectrum, just a little bit lighter. So I'd like to thank Gabriel once again for the open use of his music for my channel. I really appreciate it. If you like his music, it's in the card in the top right hand corner there. I'm sure he would love to have us check out his channel. Now, I've been playing around with these camera angles a little bit. This one's my digital SLR, which does give a good quality, but it's also got a set focus, and if I'm not in that sweet spot, it will be fuzzy. So I'm not 100% sure I like this as the option for painting. If you've seen my other video where I do my white and orange space marine, the paint your own marine video that I did, that's done with my phone, and because it's sitting directly in front of me, I can actually see whether it's in focus or not. So I'm sort of leaning a little bit more toward that. Let me know what you think. It does give a nice picture when it is in focus. I just got to work out a way to make that a bit more consistent. So once again, just highlighting the reds, just using some white with the same red that I've been using for the whole miniature, just to help make it pop a bit. The yellow is just for the belt, and there's a tiny bit on his wrist and his thigh pads that I use it to. After looking at a Optimus Prime reference picture again, I did realise that he had a blue cod piece, so I went back and painted that blue too. Now just using the null oil, just a black wash basically, I'm just going to panel line it a bit. I didn't worry about showing you all the panel lining, you've seen plenty of that. So here he is, all panel lined and ready for the next stage of the process. Here's his head pretty much finished. Just highlighted and shaded it too. And here we are. You'll also see his feet are a little bit dusty. I just used a brown pigment powder just to help tie him into his base and make him look like he's actually there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one.
Transformers, more than meets